Timmy.
Ricky.
You feel further away than usual.
Can't touch you, even through the screen.
So, guys, the big Valley Fair Mall card show is coming up in
a matter of hours.
48 hours.
Well, less for the people listening to this.
Yes.
Maybe it's already happened.
It's happening now. Chad, you came over to my house yesterday with all your cards. They were stored at my house.
Yep.
What did you put together as a little package? Not necessarily specific cards, but what was your overall package?
Yeah, well, I tried to keep it a neat bundle, very much from what Kyle told me in Hobby Pack a couple of weeks ago.
Right.
So I've got a nice wagon to carry my tools in, if you will.
Purple wagon.
I have two kind of trays, a $3 bin, a $5 bin, each full of probably 50 to 100 cards. I've got a very large box with slabs that are pre-priced. And then I have some wax packs to open up and a number of other slabs to put in a display case along with our show breaker mat.
Man, you
Ricky.
were ready. I did not go as big as you with the wagon, but I brought my rolling suitcase where I've got a shoebox, 2 rows of baseball cards that range from $5 to $40.
Nice.
Stock full. I've got a row of basketball, 5 to 40. A row of football, 5 to 40. I've got a display case chock full of cards ready to sell.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Timmy,
What do you got?
Yeah.
what do you got prepped for us?
Got a couple boxes of baseball cards that I've just been leaving sitting around. I put some cards in some mags that are in that like $30 to $50 range. So that should be pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then I'm hoping to dump my PSA 9 Luis Roberts.
There's an Adam. Oh, it's a 101.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Pack to the Future. I'm your host, Ricky, a.k.a. Mr. eBay. And I am joined by my co-host and partner in crime, Dr. Chad.
Someone called for a doctor?
How you doing, Doc?
We're in the same room. I can touch your face.
And we're joined, as always, by Mr. Meh himself, Dr. Tim.
Here we go, baby. Prepare to be underwhelmed.
Well, guys, on this week, we're going to talk about terrible eBay shipping practices. And Timmy's going to bring you an incredible interview. But first, we, guys, are doing this from multiple states.
Yeah, we are.
This is a nationwide podcast at this point.
Taking over the West Coast, baby.
Yeah. As Chad and I hopped a plane yesterday for Las Vegas.
Yes.
Now,
You guys would have driven.
we thought about it, decided to fly, and we got on the same flight yesterday after work, and us and our better halves. And as we got boarded the plane, we realized that Chad and Mrs. Doc were on the middle end window, and Ricky and Mrs. eBay were on the middle and aisle.
Same row.
Same row. So we promptly traded with our wives, and Chad and I sat together.
We had a high five moment in the terminal. I jumped up, high five, and froze midair. Yeah.
But Chad, you had a few packs of cards that you brought on the plane to open.
Oh, I did. Yeah, it was a birthday weekend for me. I talked about my trips to Vegas and opening up cards along the way, so I figured let's continue that theme. I had saved up those select football packs.
Yes.
Remember those? I believe that they are cellos. I don't know what they are. They were non-hobby packs.
Hangers, cellos.
Yeah, that my wife had picked up from Target during the Target incident.
Right.
And so I opened them up during the plane.
Yeah. And so as we're opening them up, you can hit 1 silver per pack. And we're joking about all the great cards we're going to hit. And you get to the silver. It was upside down.
It was. Yep, it was upside down, so we flipped it and slow rolled it.
Yep. And as it came down, you said it was a particular team, and I did not believe you.
Well, you shouldn't believe half the things I say, though. True.
Chad claimed it was a Charger. And so as he scooted down a little more and more, I recognized that innocent white face. Justin Herbert. Who? And so we're shaking, freaking out.
Yelling in the plane.
Yes, thinking that Chad's going to buy us all a suite.
I went and knocked on the captain's door and asked him to reroute the plane to go to PSA directly, but apparently that was the wrong thing.
We were going to go get on the intercom and take over and say, ladies and gentlemen, we will be diverting for a quick stop in Los Angeles. So then, though, Chad brought penny sleeves and top loaders, thank God.
Be prepared.
What happened with the penny sleeves, Chad?
Well, sometimes you buy the penny sleeves. They're a little bit too big for your for what you got there.
This idiot that checks, I guarantee you he checked everything in his suitcase 100 times.
Yep.
Brought thick penny sleeves.
So they don't fit in the top loader.
We'll sandwich up. So what did you do?
So I put it in the penny sleeve, I stacked a bunch of cards, and then stacked a bunch of the top loaders to sandwich it, and then tried to stuff it back in the hanger with the cello to keep it protected.
And then just put it back in his backpack with all his junk.
I didn't know what else to do with it. But I also hit a nice John Morant at a status, and then I hit a Devontae Graham, which for all of you who listened to, I think one of our first initial podcasts, first and initial, rather. Yeah. Dear Lord. With Kyle when he called me out on Devontae Graham, and clearly I had no idea who he was. I did hit a lovely autograph numbered to 15.
Yes.
As well. So it was a nice little flight.
Yeah. No, it was pretty fun. Made the quick hour flight fly by. So we get to Vegas. And I'm trying to think if there's anything we want to cover from last night.
Probably not.
We went and hit up the sports Field of Dreams, and I was trying to talk you into announcing when we arrived, you have built it, so we have come. But that didn't work. And that is where we saw that really cool Dennis Rodman poster that we sent you, Timmy. I can't hear you.
I think Tim's been mouthing.
My God,
into the microphone. He's been talking this whole time. I've seen his mouth move. I'm looking to you is he muted? We're trying to not edit this show because Ricky's editing this week and we're in a hotel room. And Tim's just been mouthing to the camera. I'm like, nah. I give Tim enough of a hard time. I can't be the guy to call him out. I'm waiting for Ricky to notice. I picked up my phone to text you, Ricky.
Timmy.
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here now.
Hey, there
He's
he is.
here.
And he's back in the podcast.
Tim, welcome to the show.
You're on the air.
What'd I miss? No. Wait, you guys are in Vegas?
So we did go into Field of Dreams, and Tim, I sent you a picture of this Dennis Rodman, the photo of him laying out to get the ball, the one that's in the Timeless Moments, Panini 1-in-1, right?
Mm-hmm.
This thing was probably 3 feet long and a foot wide.
Yeah.
That's what she said. And autographed,
Did
framed.
it fit in your top loader?
I think it probably did. It fit in the penny sleeve, not the top loader. That thing was pretty cool.
We were debating whether it was really autographed. It did have a pattern to it. It looked like a pencil mark.
Almost looked, like Cole.
Yes.
For whatever reason, I'm thinking Cole. I've never written with Cole. I don't even know if that's a
And
thing.
I'm picturing those massive pencils that are the size of a child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see him
it's,
using that.
It's charcoal, basically, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tim, that thing was really cool. If you want us to go check out a price, man, it was pretty sweet. I'll go back and take another photo of it maybe and post it up on Instagram or something.
Yeah, and the Dennis Rodman did not have a price on it, but I did scare Tim with the equivalent. The equivalent was selling for $4,000.
No, they're a couple grand for sure.
So then we get up this morning, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, and we go to a card shop here in Vegas. I'm blanking on the
Nice.
name.
Yeah, I think it was Ultimate Sports Cards.
That's right.
It was on Fremont Street, right by Fremont Street.
Right. And we go into the card shop, and Chad goes and asks if they had any regular-sized penny sleeves. The guy says, nope.
He's like, yeah, we've been out for a
Seriously?
year.
Yeah.
No.
But then when Chad explained to him how dumb he is,
The guy pity sleeved me.
he did. He says,
That's a
"Hey,
new
man,
term, pity sleeve."
yeah. He says, I don't have any for sale, but here are 3 or 4. Just you idiot.
From his own personal stash.
Sometimes card collecting, you can be in special needs, and I was a special needs card collector.
But this card shop was really cool, and the only problem I have is everything in Vegas is overpriced, and that's no different for cards. So their boxes were too expensive to justify purchasing any. I considered some old. He did have a little bit of 90s basketball, like Heidi did, and I did consider buying the Fleer.
Well, to be fair, I really think that these prices were consistent with national averages. Like, I think that we are spoiled
That's
with
true.
what we have at Overtime.
That's true.
Cards.
I think that our local card shop does have. I've never seen cards lower.
The
Even online.
the singles at this shop were very high, and they had cases, display cases upon display cases. Tim, you would have loved seeing them of all different sports, including hockey, which I did look at.
Yep.
Nice.
I did take a
I
look
saw
at that.
you guys sent that Vegas Knights picture.
Yeah.
Yep, we almost bought a Vegas Knights shirt. Still on the look.
Ooh.
Look out for one.
Yep.
I think we're betting on him tonight.
Yeah, we are, which will be game 3.
Yes.
Yep. Yep.
So we'll be betting on that. But while we were in there, they had some really cool vintage cards. Chad, and I know you're about to take a drink, so I'll pad for you while you do that. But Chad was checking out those vintage cards quite a bit. I did a little bit as well. But do you remember, do any of them jump out to mind?
Yeah, there were a few that come to mind. There was some old basketball. There was Rick Barry, Wilt Chamberlain. I think I sent a few photos over to Kyle again. There's the third time I've said his name. Which I think he'll appear in a mirror if I say it again. But
This week's drinking game.
yeah, seriously. So some nice older basketball, and then I panned over to the next section, and they had some really nice older football. I mean, they had John Elway rookie, they had Dan Marino rookie, which was real nice, and they had, what's that guy's name? Walter White? No, Walter
Payton?
Panis? Walter Payton. Ah, yeah, Walter Payton. Tim, you used to be a fan of the team that he played for, the Chicago Bears.
Yeah. What was that team's name again? I think it's like the Chicago football team.
Bears.
They had like old original Babe Ruth cards that I think were
Ooh.
probably while he was alive.
They did, and they had they had an 1888 Allen and Ginter card.
And it was a.
You
Oh.
should have bought that.
I should
It
have.
was only $75.
Oh man.
Maybe I'll go back and get it. The problem is it was in a slab. I only accept PSA slabs now.
He's coming.
You have purchased Nico Mannion jersey cards. Like, those aren't in PSA slabs.
Well, yeah,
Get outta
it's,
here.
it's unslabbed or PSA slab. This was some BGGS or something. Get the hell out of here.
Oh yeah, no, you didn't want that.
Yeah, it's the only slabbing company that was around 200 years ago.
But yeah, it was a
Math.
Native American card,
was,
a mini,
yeah.
and it was super cool. I might go back. I could see us going back to Fremont.
Yeah.
And we might have to go back for Tim because Tim was in the middle of negotiating a hot deal with the card shop.
Yeah, that's what we heard.
So as we were leaving, what card was it that you sent to me?
There's a Walter Payton.
That's right.
Rookie card.
And
Initially, yeah.
you said to me, I really think our friend Tim would like that a lot. Maybe I should send him a picture.
I did. This is all true.
So you sent the photo, and Tim, are you going to be honest and tell us your response?
Yeah, I texted pass on Peyton, centering left right.
And then you later said something else, though, and I'm going to let Chad read this one.
Yep. Pad for me for another 10 seconds.
So they're going back and
Oh,
forth. We're trying to convince Tim not to make the mistake of his life.
Yep. Okay, so you did say pass on Payton because of the centering. But then Tim said if they'll do 200 and the original price was $500
Oh,
and it looks
yeah, so
9-ish, I'll take it.
the context is a Jordan Apparitions insert.
Oh, that makes more sense. See, we thought you were
Yeah.
talking about the Walter Payton.
Oh, I feel really bad for what I'm about to say.
Yeah.
You a-holes.
So in response, so
well, you're using this new technology within messaging that doesn't
Yeah,
line
and
it up chronologically.
And it replies to the thing I actually want to reply to. So I replied to the picture of the apparitions, not the white and
I was
blue
busy
and
in a
black
card
card
shop
with
looking at
Peyton.
cards to buy.
Oh, Chad, you gave me bad info, man.
You're on the thread too.
Yeah.
So Tim, we were
some-
we were 75% looking out for you,
Yeah.
and 25% not paying attention fully
and
to what you
blood
said.
alcohol level of 0.03 at least at that point.
Good try, Dick. Of 0.
Yeah, we were well behaved today. So what we thought was happening as we were leaving the shop is that Tim was requesting that we request the owner drop the price by 60% and that it be a PSA 9.
Right.
And then he would grace the owner with his purchase.
Yep.
Good
So
grief.
I decided to text him and said, hey, we're really close to the 200 number, but the owner wants you to call him directly to finish the deal.
I had no part of this,
And I sent
but I did laugh.
And I sent the number. And at the time I sent the number, Timmy, you were not believing that I was being serious, correct?
No.
But I sold you because I said, he's really nice. His name is Scott.
I immediately turned to Ricky. I'm like, oh, his name was Scott?
I said, no, it wasn't. But that's exactly why Tim's going to call.
Yep.
Oh, my
So what
God.
happened, Timmy?
So I call his number and I'm like, hey, is Scott there? And he's like, Scott? No, I'm Sean. I'm like, huh.
Not pretty close.
Well, do you know anybody's who goes by the name Scott? And he's like, no. And then I ask him, so do you know anything about a Jordan Apparitions card that my buddies Chad and Ricky were talking to somebody about? And he's like, and he says, no. Oh.
It's
So at
funny
this
because there
point-
was no one else in the shop. There was not a soul in that shop.
He had
So
to
it
know
would
it
be
was
super
us.
obvious if you guys gave me the right number.
We did. We did.
Yeah, don't. This isn't a we thing. This is a you thing.
Hey, it's
This
a
is
we
a-
thing.
this
We're
is a
high
you
fiving. Hey, but now you're welcome, Tim, because now you've made a friend in the hobby,
Scott.
I don't know.
Sean.
a new pen pal.
Well, so wait, where did you get the number though? Because Sean apparently owns a shop.
No, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I was confident he was the owner. It was the only one guy there,
The guy, yeah.
and so I just pulled up the number on Google and
And
sent
you
it
just
to
made up the name Scott.
I just made up the name Scott, though.
You said Sean.
He did say his name was Sean, and he knew nothing about two guys named Chad and Ricky.
And we didn't
despite
tell him
your
our names.
claim. Well, despite your claim that you were the only two in the shop.
So what do you think? I just sent you a random card shop in Des Moines, Iowa?
And where'd I get the photos?
Possibly. What's area code 702?
It's Vegas. How do you
Are
not
you
know
sure?
that?
No, I don't. I've never called anybody in Vegas.
You've won and lost your entire savings so many times. How could you not know the area code?
I've never needed to call anybody.
I got to side with him. I've never called Vegas.
Huh. Maybe it's a me thing.
All right, Google confirms it was area code 702. So whose number did you actually give me?
I'm telling you, I gave it to him. I think he just...
It was just some random dude at home.
All right. Well, when we come back, Timmy, you sat down and had a really cool interview. Why don't you tell us just a little bit about it?
Yeah, this is my buddy Quyen up in Canada, and he had a shipping story from, yeah, and I thought it would make a great story. And so it was half interview and half supposed to be a hobby pack, so I kept it a little bit fun.
Okay.
And it's a surprise to Chad and Ricky, so they don't know anything about that segment, and so they'll just get the pleasure of listening next.
All right. We'll be back with Tim and Quyen right after this.
Hi, I'm Dr. Tim Sadim, and everything I touch turns to absolute dog shit. Don't believe me? Just listen to these testimonials.
Hey, I'm Chaz. Dr. Sadim touched my during a physical exam. The next thing I know, I have herpes and a syphilitic shanker. Thanks a lot, bro.
Dr. Sadim told me my 1994 Jordan base upper deck was a surefire PSA 10. But it wasn't. It was a 6.
Hey, this is Chad. I was getting all my PSA submissions back on time until Dr. Sadim recommended a new subgroup. Thanks to that asshole, I'll never see my cards again.
He has no idea what it's like out there.
This is Ricky. Yeah, that Ricky, Mr. eBay. This motherfucker told me to invest in Kobe White, Eloy Jimenez, Laurie Martinez, and Kendrick Nunn. Who in the actual fuck are these guys?
He's nuts! They're nuts! They know nothing!
That's right. If you need more services and hobby advice instead of just market highs, I'll give you all the lows. Give Dr. Sadim a call at 801-893-1609. I will lead you absolutely wrong.
Hey everyone, this is my friend Quyen. I met through one of the Facebook groups and started getting to know him over the years. I started in a hockey group specifically. My love for hockey created this awesome friendship that we now have. And he's been telling me about all sorts of hobby stuff over the years, but this one in particular I thought you guys would find pretty horrifying.
It all started with an actual sale. So I made about a $20,000 sale, and long story short, the guy paid goods PayPal, so he's covered with buyer protection and everything else. So I figured, okay, well, what's the safest way I'm going to send this package? And I figured, okay, I'm going to go FedEx overnight, no insurance because we're going to put lower value so it doesn't get stolen, and there's going to be no duties issues because I'm shipping from Toronto down to Seattle. So you got
crossing the border.
Yep, that's right. So you got the border as a potential issue there. So fast forward, I get all the details, I verify the details with the buyer, he confirms that all looks good, but I always put a label on the box myself just in case. So it's a backup. Just in case. It's a backup with the address, name, and my return address and everything else, right? So FedEx does their thing. They print out the packaging, and then the package goes out. So it goes out overnight, and it's all smooth. It's already in Washington, so it's going to Seattle, Washington. So it's in a small city in Washington, overnight. So we're like, okay, smooth sailing, we're good to go.
Like
the next thing you know. Yeah, exactly. 24 hours, and it's like clockwork. We've sent out over 20,000 packages, and normally they go smooth. We've never lost a full package. Fast forward, all of a sudden we get a delay. 2 days goes by, and then the buyer says, okay, something weird is happening. So I said, you know what, just be a normal delay. I've had this happen a million times. Just call FedEx and have them open a trace on the package. Mm-hmm. So he follows the instructions. He calls FedEx, they do a trace. They said there's a customs delay.
Interesting.
So yeah, but normally customs delays happen in Memphis, which is their main shipping headquarters, and for some strange reason there's a delay in Washington. So anyway, whatever, we think nothing of it. Customs is gonna do their thing. They're gonna open it up, look at it, and they're gonna say there's no bomb inside, so it's good to go. Right. So anyway, so 2 more days pass now, and then I said, okay, something weird was up, right? But then I figured, okay, it could just be a major delay in customs, but I'm not worried because it's labeled, it's scanned. Next thing you know, he says to me 3 days later, so this is about on the 6th day now, okay, so it's supposed to go overnight.
That's
on the
a long
6th
time
day,
already.
Yeah, he says to me, Q, I have this label from UPS and I owe $45. Any clue what this is for? And I'm like, sorry, not UPS, USPS.
USPS.
So yeah, United States Postal Service. So I said, I have no clue. Like, I don't know. Why are you asking me, right? He says, because it has your name on it.
Yeah.
So
and it's one of those orange door tags for anybody who's not been home when USPS tries to knock at your door and deliver a package. It's one of those orange peach colored door tags.
Right. So now I'm like, my name associated with the USPS door tag, and I've never sent anything USPS to him. So I'm like, whatever, that's strange. So then fast forward, he goes, you know what? I'm gonna go into the post office and pick it up and see what it is. And then, like getting into semantics now. So then I said, okay, message me, let me know. So then he gets there, and then he pays the $45, and then he gets this box. He takes a picture of the box, and he sends it to me. I'm like, right? I'm like, that's my $20,000 shipment that he just picked up at USPS, and I sent it via FedEx, right? So now I'm like, okay, now I'm praying that all is good, because he sends a picture. So the package, I tape it up with Gorilla Tape, so it looks like it's still intact. And he gets docked at home. He opens it up, and lo and behold, $20,000 package that I sent through FedEx got delivered via USPS with an extra $45 shipping on top, and we have no clue. Right now in FedEx, it's still labeled as delay, customs delay.
Right. Hold on. So you sent FedEx from Canada, should have gotten across the border just fine. You're under the impression that it's hung up in customs, because that's what FedEx tracking is telling you.
That's right.
The person you sold the package to gets a USPS door tag and says, hey, why didn't you pay my duties?
Right.
And he's like, wait a second. Somehow you sent me something USPS, but you're telling me you sent it FedEx. And you're just as confused too.
Correct. So somehow during the scans towards FedEx, it got to Washington State, and then they probably lost the box. And the life-saving scenario is the label. So I had the address of where it was going and my return address, and they probably have some sort of system where lost boxes or just random boxes with no FedEx label or FedEx, paperwork goes directly to USPS, and they handle it. So the $45 was actually to pay for the actual cost of the shipping. Yeah, the postage itself. So because they're like, well, we don't have anything that proves that this was paid for. So in theory, I actually reboxed and recycled with an Amazon box. And I think the Amazon box is what saved me, because they probably looked at it as, just a regular $20 Amazon package shipping. So whatever, I'm not gonna steal this, or I'm not gonna open it because it's just a regular little Amazon box. I'm not gonna lose my job for that, right? So if they knew that there's $20,000 in there, I guarantee you that box wouldn't have turned back up.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So.
Because so many things could have gone wrong there. Like if you hadn't put your own handwritten label with the address on the box, game over.
Correct.
If somebody had opened that box thinking they just found it on the street and it's like, hey, that's weird, there's this random brown box on the sidewalk, let me just open it and see what happens, because there's no name on it, game over.
That's right.
So maybe it still got lost on a sidewalk, fell off a truck somewhere, but because you had the name on it, they were like, oh, well, this needed to get to somebody.
Yeah, very well could have. Yeah.
And a good Samaritan saved your butt too?
Possibly.
What happened to the FedEx label that was on it originally? Did somebody peel it off, like during that picture that your buyer sent to you?
Yeah, that's the magic question, right? So obviously it's scanned to Memphis to Washington, so it had a FedEx label on it at one point. But what I'm thinking is that they use those sticky tape plastic packages and have the paperwork inside. Yeah. And maybe they didn't take off the whole back of the sticker, so it was kind of like loose and hanging. And then at one point during shifting the boxes or whatever, it just slid off, right? And then all of a sudden they look at it like,
goodness,
what am I gonna do with this box with no scan to label it? I'm just gonna send this to USPS, right? Who knows what happened? But I just thank the Lord that I'm not out 20K and horror stories for the making, and hopefully it doesn't happen again.
Oh my goodness. Everyone out there, hug your packages, label your packages, and may the shipping gods be with you.
Yes, indeed. They were with me for one day, and out of karma, I gave the same guy who could have easily said he didn't receive the package a fantastic deal on another 24K value book, but I gave it to him for 20K, so instead of 24K, right? So he made himself 4K for no reason.
Oh my goodness. Insurance wouldn't even have done you any good either, because you had no way to prove that it was actually somewhere.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. So I just literally 1 in a million scenario, and I actually just got super lucky on this one.
I've never heard of that happening before, but that's amazing. And a story with a happy ending too.
That's right. Absolutely.
Amazing.
Hi, I'm Dr. Tim Sedin. As a podcasting superstar, I'm used to living life in the fast lane. But when I'm not watching Tyrese and Vin Diesel race outside my house, I curl up with the brand new Basketball Card Fanatic hard copy. This beautiful magazine is just what I need to unplug and relax. For just $14 per month or $130 per year, you too can put up your feet and take it easy with the magazine packed full of insider basketball card information. So what are you waiting for? Reach out to basketballcardfanatic@gmail.com. Get your copy of Basketball Card Fanatic and start living life a quarter mile at a time.
Okay, everyone. So that was quite the story from my buddy Quyen. Thanks for listening. And I think it ties in pretty well into our next segment here. And we've talked about it a little bit on our Instagram page. I asked for a little bit of feedback as far as shipping practices that may have rubbed people the wrong way, perhaps.
Right.
And I think it actually works out perfectly, Chad, that you mishandled, I guess, your Justin Herbert by not having the correct size penny sleeve.
Yeah.
But I've actually seen somebody put a card like that straight into a top loader without a penny sleeve.
And you know what? Getting ready for this card show, I've done that, like gotten close where it starts to bunch, and then you realize, like, oh, no. Way too thick of a card for this size top loader, right?
Yeah.
And explain what it looks like, Tim.
No, yeah. So I think we're talking about two different things, but if you try to shove a 130-point penny sleeve into a 55-point top loader, it doesn't work. You crinkle the heck out of the card, and
yeah, we're talking about
you might actually damage the card.
Yeah, we're talking about the same thing. It crinkles like right up like a newspaper.
Yeah, just get those corners and rip them right to shreds.
Uh-huh.
No, but what I mean is somebody like that would say, well, the penny sleeve doesn't fit, so I'm just going to toss the penny sleeve aside, and I'm just going to shove a raw card into the top
And
loader.
even in the debacle at 10,000 feet, as it's now known nationwide, is that never even came into my mind of just shoving the Herbert directly into the top loader. Like that's not an option. That should never be an option.
Exactly. Exactly.
But you do have to be careful on those penny sleeves. I mean, they do come in different sizes, and just like you said, it's. I had a package where I had taken out the cover, the cover piece of paper that said that they were the super thick ones.
Right.
And so if you do that and you just have numerous penny sleeves laying around, like our card shop owner used to give us every time we'd buy a box, right? So I've got 100 of these things at home.
Now she charges us $1.
If she has them.
If she has
them. I don't think she has them.
That's where the error came into play, and that's a big deal because they won't fit in there, and they'll damage the card.
Yeah, and as we were going through the Mile High incident, as I like to call it,
you and I did sit together, and we had a Mile High incident on the plane together.
A Mile High experience, if you will.
Yeah, if you will.
Not in the bathroom, to clarify, guys.
Well, we're not going to say where this took place.
No, we can't confirm or deny the location within the plane.
My goodness.
But yeah, you just cannot do it. And honestly, you can get a pretty thick card that does not belong in a 180 penny sleeve. And when you try and put those in the correct top loader below a 180, it will still bunch just right up. And best case scenario, it looks awful. if, as you guys say, it doesn't damage the hell out of the card.
Well, Mr. eBay, if you got a card from an eBay purchase that was in a top loader without a penny sleeve, what would you do?
That's like nails on a chalkboard, I think, to me. It's like getting your nether region stuck in your zipper.
Well, I think that honestly, I've seen in my experience in the past year, it kind of determines what the price range is of the card that you purchase. So, let's make up some numbers here. So, if it's a lower price card, roughly $0 to $25,
sure.
Sometimes I'll get the card just in a top loader. And if it's towards the $25 end, I'm not happy about it. If it's less than $10, it's like, well, I mean, you're getting what you pay for, right? But you start to see sellers $25 and above, and certainly when you get into the $100 and higher dollar range, people are pretty darn good about placing cards correctly. So I don't see it too often. When I do, I temporarily freak out and scream, and my wife has to hear about it, and I try to never tell you guys so you don't put me on blast. And then I'm like, okay, I get what I pay for here, and move on.
Do you guys perform surgery on it, or do you slide it out?
What?
Like, I would seriously consider taking mini scissors and cutting the plastic out.
Oh, I see. Like if it's a card just in a top loader that was too big for the top loader?
Oh, no, just in a top. I'm thinking like a card that fits in the top loader size but has no penny sleeve. So, you get that
I just pull it out.
Yeah, you do the little pop and kind of widen the mouth, and then you pop it right out.
Yeah. Pop. Yeah, actually, now that you say that, Timmy, that's exactly what I would do as well.
Yeah. But so above $25, then, would you say that a card should come in a top loader correctly in a penny sleeve, and then in addition to that, sealed up in a team bag?
Yes, 100%.
Yep, 100%. We can elaborate if you want, but 100%.
As Mr. eBay, I don't care. You could buy a 99-cent card off of me. And if that 99-cent card is in a mag, you're getting a mag. If it's in a top loader, you're at least getting a top loader. You're at least getting a penny sleeve. You're at least getting a team bag, regardless.
I think that's very reasonable.
A business card and a nice little note.
Yeah. For me, it's always penny sleeve, top loader. If it was already in a mag and photoed with the mag, then I'll do mag. Mm-hmm. Business card on the back, inside of a team bag, sandwiched between two pieces of cardboard, taped up. That goes inside of a small bubble mailer, which I fold up and put inside of a larger bubble mailer.
You're a jackass.
For every card. No. Why, Tim, you told me this is one of those things that, Tim, like you say, and I listen and run with. No, seriously.
Yeah, which I don't realize you're actually listening to when I just drop it as an aside.
Yeah. Hey, this matters, though. Presentation matters with the card.
Absolutely.
Right? When I buy a card and I open it up, that's part of the experience for me. Mm-hmm. It's like opening a pack of cards, and we've all had the experience, right, where you open up a bubble mailer and the card is like wrapped very loosely in crappy bubble wrap.
Yes.
And not inside of anything else. And you're just like, what is this? You're like, this is ugly and it's been manhandled. So I think it matters personally.
How do you guys open your bubble mailers? I've got a new system that I think's brilliant, and I want to hear how you guys do it first.
I go with just the tear along the edge. I tear off the top.
Okay. Like finger in between and then rip up?
Nope. Most of them just tear right down unless they're the polymer bags.
Okay.
So, or I'll use scissors and cut across the top.
Yeah, I try and just rip it right open. Like when I get that card, I want to rip it right open. And if not, I'll get scissors and cut it right along the top. But otherwise, just rip it.
I get my nice little neat stack together, just like Timmy's test kitchen. And then I get my scissors and I just go across the top. It works for every package. It gets the cardboard that's wrapped around. Oh, I love it. It is the equivalent of the razor blade for opening boxes.
Yeah, that's very clean.
I'm the DB. Open.
You should open up like a Ricky. We have Timmy's cut corners.
Yeah.
And Timmy's alterations. You should have like a Ricky's smooth shaves or something like that. Like a personalized shave station, but it's for opening up your bubble mailers.
I'll trim your edges.
There you go.
Wait, hedges or edges?
Edges.
You got to pay extra for that one, Tim.
Well, so Ricky, though, so that works great, assuming it's packaged as well as packaged like Chad's, but we've all gotten packages that are just balls of bubble tape, not even like neatly wrapped, just balls. And then on top of that, like masking tape. Oh. Then on top of that, packing tape. And you're trying to cut through all these layers, and you're probably just going to butcher a finger or the card. I mean, That's just not okay either.
For years, when you guys would yell about masking tape, I thought you guys were the biggest diva wuss bags of all time.
Yeah,
In the
I know.
last
I
2
remember
months,
this.
I want to send back a pile of my own feces to the next person who sends me masking tape.
Hey, so
Why?
You cannot get it off. You can't cut it. You can't. It damages the top loader. The top loader's ruined. It's the worst.
is that the same as
Exactly.
painter's tape, or is that different?
Scotch tape.
Scotch
yeah, I was
tape,
going to say
just
Scotch
clear
tape
Scotch
is
tape.
awful.
That's the worst.
I used to
Awful.
ship with Scotch tape on top of a top loader.
Yeah. Oh.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
about a year ago, I switched because that is awful. So that's a
The team bag's
definite
just the way
no-no.
to go. It keeps it in the container.
Yeah, it does.
You know.
Yeah.
It makes it look
Especially with top loaders being in short supply now. I mean, it's just why waste it? Yeah.
Right. Right. Do you guys save your top loaders? I guess I'm editing. For like selling on eBay.
This is going to sound arrogant. I don't. I bought so many of them 2 years ago that I have them piled up inside of my house. And so I just throw them away if they're scratched up. I don't want my cards to be in them. Like if I look at it and then if I'm selling nicer cards, I'll try and put one in a clean one. And so I'll just throw away the older ones.
Yeah. No, I'm the same way. And I think a lot of people have been kind of building up. I think a lot of people's homes probably have a lot of top loaders. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but at least people selling. But I have a good collection as well, and I agree. I don't want them to see their cards coming in that kind of top loader.
Right.
Yeah. You want to receive your cards. I mean, you want to send your cards like you would actually want to receive them, I would say.
Absolutely.
And my latest bone to pick. So I've always been really picky about slabbed cards, graded cards. So BGS or PSA. Like, I get really peeved when somebody ships one to me that has a scratch across it or just doesn't care to protect it when they mail it to me. So the reason why now I'm even more irritated by it is because you no longer can just send that slab back in to get reslabbed. Like you used to be able to do that for $8. Now, if you do it, they completely start over and regrade your card. It's not just replacing the slab. So I would say and argue now that the slab itself is part of the card and you should treat it as such and bag it as such.
Tim, I couldn't agree with you more. And I just have you on my shoulder lately because I have listed all my old BGS slabs. Did not protect them whatsoever.
We told you about that. I think Tim was talking to you about that whenever we were together last at your place a year ago. That he mentioned you have to bag those up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think Timmy was mainly talking about the Jordans I had, but yeah, they're just in such bad shape. I feel awful.
You should offer a discount.
No,
put Reed in the title. Reed, all caps.
Yes.
Reed.
Yes. Read and look.
Guaranteed way how to get someone not to buy your card.
No, these cards are pack fresh. Otherwise.
Oh, Lord. You know what pack fresh means if you're buying from Mr. eBay? It means the card's been sitting on the couch for a couple days until Ricky decides to pick up after himself.
That's true.
And then it's thrown in the junk box for a bit.
That's true.
And then eventually it'll get itself into a penny sleeve and top loader.
If it doesn't end up in like the fridge or something. Or the trash.
As a coaster.
Yeah. As a literal house of cards.
Oh. That was nice.
Timmy, do you want us to place any bets for you?
No, I haven't even thought about it. You guys should do it though.
I lost $100 on a machine blackjack or no craps table.
That was your choice. It wasn't even a table. It was a machine that had like a pop 'em dice.
Yeah.
That are like
my
magnetically
goodness.
controlled. My pass line was 7 straight times.
Well, we found ourselves at the famed El Cortez.
Oh, yeah, beautiful.
Off of Fremont.
Only the best. It's right by the card shop. If you ever want to do the
man.
Chad and Ricky tour, you go to the card shop, then you go to the El Cortez.
The Chad and Ricky walking Las Vegas walking studio tour.
Exactly.
And so we sat down at these machines, and it was you could literally bet $2 at a minimum. And they had this. each machine in front of it had this like a bank tube, like if you were going to an ATM or to your bank teller.
Oh, right.
It sends the thing through the money and stuff back and forth. And in the middle of it sat basically kind of a setup like Trouble, where like you push down and like the dice pop up, and it's this. But this was just the floor bouncing, and the dice were like the cartoon like stuffed animal dice that like 16-year-olds have in their car dashboards.
Sometimes they
Not
wouldn't
even the
even
nice
turn
ones?
over. They would just vibrate a little bit, and it's like 4 again.
Oh my goodness! What?
And so I get up there, and I'm just like throwing bets. I couldn't figure out how to put any money down. Chad's screaming at me, telling me how to do it. Finally figure it out, and
I was playing Huff and Puff.
Chad's over killing it on Huff and Puff.
Yeah, those penny slots win.
And here I come. Next thing I know, I've like lost. I've bet like $50 in one hand.
I look over. I kid you not, Tim. He has stacks of dollar bills on every single possible field.
Oh man! How'd
He
that
put
go?
odds on like his 4. He had money on
All the hard
every single
ways.
one.
Like all the hard
Pass
ways,
lines and I did.
You tried to bet a hard 7.
I bet the field as well.
That's not even a thing.
Makes no sense.
But then the dice like roll 7. I'm like, no, I just need a run. And I'm like, wait a minute. They have rolled 7 probably 8 of the last 10 times. This is clearly rigged. What am I doing?
Should have been hitting those penny slots with me.
So Chad took a really funny video. We'll have to post if you haven't.
Yeah, I've got it. I haven't posted it if you want me to.
Yeah, of our us cashing out our winnings at the famed El Cortez.
I'll post
Oh, I can't
it.
wait to see this.
So I've already posted it before the show. You guys will have no idea what it means until you listen to this.
Exactly.
So you're welcome.
Oh man.
Glad you guys are having fun.
Oh yeah, it's
Big time ghost tour coming up tomorrow night. That's the reason for the trip.
Ooh. Oh,
Yes.
dude, that actually ties in perfectly. Well, this won't make sense me saying it now, but yeah,
what?
interesting. That somehow actually plays into the way I lined up this episode. It's perfect.
You're right, Tim. During your fascinating interview, that played in perfectly.
It really did. That yeah. And here we are.
So make sure that you check us out Sunday. Be checking out our social media.
Yeah.
By the time this comes out, next Sunday, that's the live card show, Saturday and Sunday from Valley Fair Mall.
We'll be there.
We'll be there.
Tim will be there to start the day if you listen early and get there early.
Today and tomorrow.
Yep.
And checking out our social media tomorrow.
Instagram, best way to do it.
Instagram, because we may be recording live, and I may have some things to sell if you want to call into the show. If we want to have a live call in.
I'm not afraid.
That's a new wrinkle.
We are live. I've got a huge surprise for Timmy. People, if you are local,
Wait a second. No,
get
that might
over
not
to
be
the
a good
card
thing.
show. You do not want to miss this.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. I didn't have any part of this, Tim. This was not me.
Oh, Tim, they also, last thing, and then we'll end the show. They had the old NBA hoops packs for $5 at the card shop that you and I opened without Chad. And I did find out from Chad last night that that's why he was pissed at me. He was pissed 2 weeks later. We opened those packs without him. Oh, man. All right, guys. Well, it's been another fun show for Chad and Tim. This is Ricky, the Viva Las Vegas, wishing y'all of you a one-of-one night.
So, guys, if you want the Pack to the Future Vegas card shop tour,
The Star Tour.
the Star Tour, you want to rewalk our footsteps.
Chad and Ricky.
So you start at the Venetian.
Yes.
You take a taxi, and then you convince the taxi driver that Peyton Manning's forehead has actually grown over the last 10 years and not that his hairline's receded.
Tim,
That's a different story.
Tim, I told the cab driver. I told the cab driver that that Peyton Manning's forehead had grown.
Oh, he
Because
was eating it up.
has, by the way.
He was eating it up.
and it blew his mind so much that I was scared he was going to crash.
Yeah,
And
he
Chad-
looked in the back seat. And he looked right at my forehead. He said, "Are you Peyton Manning?"
No, but tell him who you got mistaken for in the lobby today. Oh my God.
Okay, that's a better story.
Yeah, we got to cancel our bit.
Okay, we're scrapping the post show, so here's the real post show. So I went downstairs. They have these electronic keys to get into the rooms, and mine wasn't working. So I went downstairs this morning. I'm wearing my Utah Jazz NBA Jam T-shirt with with Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell.
Right.
And I'm standing in line, and this older gentleman's kind of eyeing me up. And I'm like, okay, this is weird. Like, I've got my Pack to the Future podcast mask on. I'm like, well, maybe he recognizes me. And so he's going up to the desk. He's first in line, and the line is kind of weaving around. So he walks past me, and he's like, hey, are you the professor? And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, well, maybe he thinks Doc from the podcast. And I'm like, well, actually, I do hold the title of professor. So maybe he, like, knows me from the university. And I'm like, well, tell me more. He's like, oh, no, never mind. I'm like, no. Like, what do you mean? He's like, well, and he points at my shirt. He's like, basketball. Like, and one, the professor. I look nothing like that guy. Nothing.
Oh,
I was profiled.